All right, good morning, good evening, good night. Another episode of Layer 1 Podcast. I'm coming with you, or to you, I guess, with two founders from OmniFlix Network, two co-founders, Daya and Abhishek. We are going to have ourselves a great episode. We are not in Bitcoin Miami, but we do have an awesome podcast to get to. That'll be the fun thing to do. So, guys, how's it going? How's it going today?
Yeah, it's going great. Thank you. Thank you for inviting us and having us here, as part of your show.
Daya, how you doing? Daya, can you hear me?
Hello everyone.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so we're going to get started, guys. We are going to talk about pretty much all things creator economy here. They're doing a lot of cool things with their decentralized media and network layer here. A lot of cool things that are interesting to creators in general. So we're going to get started, guys. We are going to talk about. Oh, I'm getting your audio coming through. Okay. All right, so. All right, we're just going to run with this, guys. We're going to go ahead and start this podcast here. We are basically going to break down a creator economies and everything that they're providing with their network. We're going to touch a little bit on OmniFlix, but guys, I want to get kind of your background really quick, TLDR fashion, as we move ourselves into this episode.
Daya, you go first.
Sure. Hello everyone. This is glad to be here with Lab today to discuss more on OmniFlix and its progress and evolution since 2018. Me and Abhishek have been working for quite a long time together since 2010s and early start of digital media. Whereas we worked with a company together where I worked as a VP technology and Abhishek worked with me as a product head. So we have been in the digital media ecosystem for quite a long time, and we realized that there is a lot of potential in taking digital media, rather I would say decentralized, a fashion where helping creators and communities to run their infra plus make economy on top of it. So, yep, Abhishek, do you want to add anything to it?
Yeah. So as Daya said, right, like we've been working since quite some time now. Almost a decade now, and together, on media primarily, but on a lot of other things. And from 2016, where we when we quit our earlier company, but we're still working with media and contributing to open source projects. That's when we got into blockchain, explored traditional finance implementations. Everything's related to finance initially. When it comes to blockchain. And slowly, since we never stopped working with media, but it was in a Web 2 context, helping people digitize and transform themselves. While from 2018, we started focusing on NFTs and their implementations across industries. And with media, it was very obvious. We were looking at blockchain-based contracts, and like putting data on blockchain, smart contracts, NFTs, and some of the other things. And OmniFlix started in 2018. Co-development of OmniFlix, and it was called FreeFlix back then. But in 2021 Jan, we rebranded that and did a lot since then. Yes.
That's amazing, man. We're going to get into the roadmap for you guys as you guys move into the later 2021 as well as 2022. But the ability to integrate NFTs, the ability to integrate kind of Web3 assets, if you will, into content like we're streaming right now to YouTube, I think is an amazing kind of it's a little bit complex, but it's an amazing feature that obviously YouTube's not going to tackle anytime soon. So kind of break down from a user experience as well as a creator experience what OmniFlix does. Yeah.
Yeah. So in like one line, you can say that OmniFlix is a P2P network for creators and communities, sovereign communities, to help them manage, monetize, and distribute their digital media assets, as well as community interactions. Why we focused on specifically on media assets and community interactions? There are a lot of ways in which you can approach communities. So there are services required. A community like Lads has a lot of media. You guys are a content network, and it's not a surprise that you generate a lot of content, right? There are any product company, any of the other communities, they generate a lot of content, which might not be, structured as media, but it is still content and it is still information that might be organized or unorganized, right? So what we are helping communities do is organize all this information first, right? Manage all of it in either text, audio, video. These are types, formats of content. There might be, other formats of content, Web3 native formats, right? And so on and so forth. So manage all these, distribute all these. So, again, DAO, like Labs, has a lot of content which can be distributed across platforms. And, in future, if it is like, good premium content that you want to maybe sell or license, you can do that too, right? And take it forward in a way where you can monetize with your community or with other communities. So this is the infrastructure that we want to build. And we believe this is essential for media assets to be considered, eventually as, say, securities, which are being traded as assets and which are investments. So this is like an investment into culture, ultimately, right? And we want to empower people that are building as well as being a part of the entire ecosystem.
Yeah, Daya, I want to get your opinion here on what Abhishek just said and anything you want to add.
Yes. So definitely there are a few points, considering why we, ventured into decentralized media, as I would say. Having worked in, in the media ecosystem for the last decade, we've seen, a lot of censorship takedowns, a lot of, I would say, discrepancy in the economy, rather, when coming into the fair share, what creator needs to earn. We have seen a lot of, problems, and we realize there is a lot of potential for creators to take advantage of, a community and things around where they could run their own DAOs, communities to help their fans be part of the creator economy. Rather, I would say in ways where they could get gratification, they could participate in crowdfunding or something like those. We realized that it is the right time, and in 2018 we started working towards decentralization, but we have already started working since 2016 and building various tools, things around media. So 2018, I would say, is the inception of OmniFlix. And since then, we have started, deploying testnets for ourselves and, did a lot of testing in the background, participated in Cosmos ecosystem to, to showcase things that we have envisioned since quite a while. Yes.
Yeah, I love what Cosmos is doing and with their Interchain ecosystem that they're building out. And I want to talk on your grant that you received within that community as well. Cosmos, in and of itself, is just one of the many different chains. So when you speak about interchain assets, is it within Cosmos itself, or is it the ability to bridge assets from an Ethereum to that ecosystem, or all these other ones that we're seeing right now?
Yes, I'll add a point here. The major thing, around naming OmniFlix itself is such that, we envision omniscient assets. We see that, asset is not confined to a network as such. The potential to take asset across networks and, ability to monetize, rather, distribute, it is huge. Since Cosmos vision and, our vision correlates a lot, we realize that, it is much better to work with Cosmos and, having worked there since a couple of years, we realized that it is, going to be, omniscient and, omni, I would say omni network as such. Yeah. Abhishek, do you want to add anything there?
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, we're not actually present on top of Cosmos, but we are built with Cosmos, which is like a fundamental difference when you look at multiple blockchains, right? I don't have to have a single atom, and still be able to build with Cosmos. That's the flexibility that the entire technology behind Cosmos Network offers. So Cosmos Network is powered by the Tendermint consensus framework. And there is the Cosmos SDK, which is like an abstraction on top of the Tendermint consensus framework, and with which you can build your own chain and take it forward. So yeah, Cosmos is a very beautiful ecosystem because their fundamental ideology lies in collaboration, right? They believe in the fact that it's not just one chain that rules all, but a collaboration or a network of networks that will make the entire ecosystem much more valuable. And using this ethos, right, and the fundamental fact that collaboration itself is of value, and the ability to coordinate and collaborate brings much more value, is what led us to Cosmos. Initially, we worked on multiple other projects with partners, within the Cosmos ecosystem. And yeah, as you mentioned, right, like we won a competition where we had about 200 teams and 660 participants across the globe, that were testing essentially the interoperability or Cosmos IBC, the first version of Cosmos IBC across chains, right? And it was not like we were the only winners. We won in a category which was like the best custom zone. So what that meant was, we demonstrated IBC in such a way that where we actually applied IBC and not just like work on core concepts around it. So this was very good because we presented a case where there were two media chains that were communicating with each other. NFTs on one chain got minted and got transferred or licensed on a marketplace on a second chain. And these licensed assets were utilized in a 24/7 broadcast. And whenever there was an advertiser that was paying for a slot, right, ad slot, this, if it was like say Netflix, for example, everyone in the entire ecosystem, the creator on the first chain, the licensor on the second chain, the guy that's running the live stream, right, like who's the platform, all of them got tokens distributed proportionately, based on their based on the status of the NFT. So this way, there were some of some of the core concepts that were very specific to media that were implemented during that competition. And it was like a month long peak pandemic time. It was like in May 2020 when we just went all in, right? Like there was nothing else to it. And there was only it's like only one prize that is given. And yeah, we're glad that we could secure it.
Yeah, Daya looks like he wants to hop in there. Did you want to add anything onto that?
The major thing we wanted to showcase during Game of Zones was the ability to move asset between two chains, alongside ability to distribute revenue, attributions configured as per the deal when it comes to either doing an auction or a bidding or a reserve type of thing for the asset. So yep, definitely we tried something new that wasn't tried during the Game of Zones. Hence we got best custom zone, and being something creative out of media. Yes, we got we were the winners of one of the category.
Yeah, and congratulations for winning that Game of Zones. I'm sure that was an awesome thing for the team to kind of celebrate. But we kind of run up to OmniFlix, right, and what you guys are doing with the platform. And that was a key thing that we talked about pre-episode. Was I was looking at the latest post from Harrison where he has a Twitch stream that's able to pay out a certain amount of first, which is his social token, which we'll get into. But I was initially thinking that you guys were attacking this just from your native platform, but you guys are working to integrate into the traditional, social networks now. Kind of break down how the difference there, because when I first look at it, I'm like, man, that's going to be tough for a social network to break through, right? It's traditionally really hard for networks to break through because there's those large incumbents like a Twitch, Theta's trying to attack things like this. But how are you guys working on both sides here?
That I'll let you.
Definitely go.
All right. So as the name suggests, right, like we're Omni network, and Omni just doesn't represent blockchain networks, but at the same time, from a platform standpoint too. So we've been working with Web2 digital media platforms. I'd not call them rather social platforms, because more than the element of social interaction, there was the element of media distribution, right? So YouTube in a sense is like a distribution platform for people, and less like a social platform, where Twitter fills in the gap, right? So we've been dealing with digital media platforms, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, of course, native platforms, OTT platforms, and so on and so forth. And that has provided us the foundation for what creators need today, right? And there was the blockchain part that we are working on. We still are working on with NFTs and so on and so forth, and programmable streams, programmable media, if you can call that, and so on and so forth. So these are some of the things that will help us get ready for the future, right? So keeping that in mind, we're making sure that wherever there's an integration that's possible. So what we did with Harrison specifically, the first Audio Club, was there is a free-to-air stream that is already streaming on Twitch, right? But specifically for people that hold first tokens, they get incentivized for watching the stream because it is the initial stages and building. This is like a community building and engagement activity, and they're making sure that community is built not only on Twitch but also through their token gated URL, which is again powered by Mintgate. So that is another collaboration that is ongoing where Harrison, the DAO, Harrison's DAO utilized Mintgate to token gate stream that is powered by OmniFlix, right? And here Harrison doesn't need to actually run a system, have a physical system with electricity, internet backup, and so on and so forth. It all happens in the cloud. Everything is scheduled, automated. So 24/7, there is content that's being played again into Harrison's crypto voxels parcel as well, so that people can come down, experience the stream, have a look at the NFTs, interact with people, and take it to the next level, from a community standpoint. So this is how we are combining Web2 platforms as well as Web3 media formats and the metaverse, way of interacting from a community standpoint.
Yeah. I want to get into this really quick because from a creator standpoint, obviously we're streaming live right now. We stream live all the time in Lad City. We would love to use something like this where we're able to automate a lot of the processes. I mean, we work with Roll to drop social tokens into the chat, but that's a manual process. So from the creator side, what does that look like? Do I throw up your application while I'm live and kind of integrate different links, or how does that look from my standpoint of creating something like that?
Right. So there are multiple ways in which you can start utilizing OmniFlix, right? So primarily OmniFlix starts at OmniFlix Studio. That is where you can essentially manage all your content, right? Like manage, distribute, and monetize. From there, you can utilize your existing video content to be able to put together a 24/7 broadcast with your existing videos, right? Or if you're, say, streaming from StreamYard, Restream, or OBS, right? You can go ahead and stream directly to the broadcast so that broadcast simulcasts it to other platforms, right? Like YouTube, Twitch, and so on and so forth. So this way, people with content can get started, and people that are creating content live can also get started, using OmniFlix. And yeah, that is like one part. Live streaming is one part. Then there is the interactive video part. Have you seen Bandersnatch by any chance?
Yes, maybe not enough to answer the question, I guess.
No, sure.
Black Mirror Bandersnatch.
Right, like Black Mirror. So it's a movie on Netflix, right? Like a Black Mirror, movie.
Yeah.
And what happens in that is it is an interactive video, right? What actually happens is you have, as an audience, as a viewer, you get options presented to you, right? Someone asks whether you want to travel by bike or car, whether you want, Coke or Pepsi, right? Or something like that. And, based on the option that you select, right? A wild case might be if I select Coke now, a future billboard where the protagonist is traveling and, there's an ad in there's a billboard in the movie, right? That can be personalized to feature a Pepsi ad, right? So, there are many ways in which media can be programmed. We are starting off with interactive videos, right? In future, we'll evolve to personalized media and so on and so forth as well. So that is the direction in which we're looking to take OmniFlix to. And yeah, as I said, right, like these are the media parts. And then there's the community part as well, where you can collaboratively put together a stream, right? You don't have to actually, be one person that's programming the stream, for say 24 hours. You can have your entire community participate in that. And, if a community member presents or, has a set of 30 minutes, that performs extremely well, right? Like gets 1,000 viewers, concurrent viewers, right? And, if that makes the most revenue, yeah, right, they can get, proportionately every community member can get. So these are ways in which we enable communities to get together, collaborate, and co-create using maybe Harrison's music. You guys can put together you can have a slot within your 24-hour stream, right? So DAOs can contribute content or license content to other DAOs and, still be able to collaborate and generate value and revenue, right?
Did you have anything to add?
Yes. One thing, there is something that we believe, at the fundamental of creator or community is there is no community without a consumer, neither a creator. Both of them are equal, and so far in the Web2 ecosystem, consumers were left out. They weren't any kind of gratifications nor rewards, not something that always intrigued the fan or the consumer to come back again and again, be part of the ecosystem where it is healthy, it is rewarding, it is much better than compared to what Web2 already offers. So we believe that with the uh, better DAO structures, community structures where the both of the content creator and the consumer participate in a healthy way to take the relationship forward, where leading to better content, probably much better engagement compared to the web.
Yeah, I love the ability with the engagement there, with hiding Easter eggs in videos potentially that maybe drop social tokens or drop NFTs. It's really making my head explode. And there's guys in the chat right now. We are live and we are having a chat. Obviously, this is recorded, so if you're listening on audio, you can also find us on YouTube when we're live. But we do have some chat guys saying 24/7 in Lad City sounds like a great idea. XPlow was saying 24/7 buff. I can't handle that. Heads might explode. So people are excited here about what you guys have the potential to do with this. And I'm certainly wanting to get into the features here. So how would this look with the NFTs? NFTs are obviously, big within the context of like crypto right now. We're coming off that big hype cycle. But how does the NFT actually get dropped into the stream, and what potentially would that look like in a stream like maybe we're here right now when we're using OmniFlix? How would that look to the user?
Yeah, do you want to take this?
Yeah, so technically speaking, what is NFT? Every digital form in the future is going to be an NFT, but definitely the major part of NFT ecosystem that's going to play a key role is media. We believe with media fractionalization, further ability to mint refungibles on using NFT, and at the same time ability to fractionalize the NFT to let users participate or do a crowdfunding or sorts of things are huge. NFT is the core thing for OmniFlix, where you would be able to mint various types of NFTs. One could be assets, the other could be interactive videos, one more could be live streams, one more could be community. So it goes on. There are possibilities that are endless. What we see in the near future are at least 7 to 8 types of NFTs that we could offer for the creators to be able to take advantage of. So as we spoke earlier, the ability to take live stream as an NFT and further fractionalize it, where people participating or contributing to the live stream will be rewarded fairly through the royalties / rewards. Whereas when it compared to other forms of NFTs, you'd be able to further fractionalize the crowdsource, where you give the ability to owner to further fractionalize. For an example, let's say you own a piece of content and you have rights to fractionalize. The ability to for you take it to the next level or secondary markets, where you could further put them into a pool or sort of let the pool give you back the royalties and participate in decentralized manner, where a lot of people bring content to that pool, and you are X percentage of the pool, giving scope for you to participate in a fairer economy without having to worry about takedown, censorship, or tracking royalties, if they're truly to the context, is something that we have always thought about. So NFT is one way which gives capabilities for us to track ownership in a fair manner. At the same time, further fractionalize is key. So NFT is the core of OmniFlix, and using NFT, we are doing a lot of things, as I said, like asset, live, interactive,
yeah, and so it's not just for media, but the aspect, the technology behind NFT is being utilized for multiple, in multiple, for multiple use cases within OmniFlix network, right? Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so we have a bunch of questions here, primarily coming from our moderator here, Llama, but I do want to get to some of your screen sharing as well, Abhishek, so if you want to get that ready for us, you can start that process. But I have Llama here that's asking how many ways can monetization work, and will there be ads? And his second question is, can one community advertise in another community stream?
So yeah, one quick point, right? Like how many ways in which you can monetize. Just to add on to that, We deal with enterprises which have per asset. These are movies, right? Like full movies that we manage completely. And they have 276 rights, right? That can be monetized across 194 plus countries. So just imagine the permutations and combinations behind that. And, and this is just for one language. It can be for multiple languages too, right? So this way, like monetization occurs, digitally through satellite, in multiple ways. Of course, from a very realistic standpoint, if it's only digital, right, there can be ads. It is like fast, free, like it is free video on demand, which is when you don't show ads. These are your product marketing videos, how-to videos, guides and something like that, right? So if this is, free video on demand, there is the aspect of advertisement based or ad supported video on demand, which is AVOD, right? Which is what YouTube does, right? And here, then you have your subscription based video on demand, which is what Netflix does, and transactional video on demand, where you can buy a movie and take it forward. And if this is video on demand, you have like linear broadcasting, right? So where you can again implement all of these models. From a Web3 native standpoint, you have your token gated models, right? Where Harrison First is doing it with First Audio Club, right? Where he's incentivizing people, right? Like not token gating actually, because he might lose traction, right? Like there might be friction introduced around content consumption, and people might not consume that content. It won't be delivered or distributed the way we intend it to be. But this is incentivizing for consuming content, right? In a way which makes sense. Right? Again, so this is relative to specific communities. Some communities might not need advertising, right? Say, if it is a Cosmos TV that's running, for example, you can have multiple projects within Cosmos, or if it's an Ethereum or a Polka TV that's running, you can have multiple projects within the Polka ecosystem pitching, right? Like, or taking up buying a 30-minute slot in that TV, right? Like in that 24/7 broadcast, and then being able to deliver the best of the best content, for the ecosystem, right? So this can be like a, not a zero-sum game, but this can be presented in such a way that, the entire community gets benefited, as well as people that might need exposure get the deserved exposure as well, right? So these are some of the ways in which, you can monetize. And yeah, there are many other ways, right? Like it is all left to the creativity of the creator, right? And all we offer are the tools, and we empower them to compose all of these experiences and put them together. Yeah.
Answering the second question Lama asked, yes, definitely you could advertise onto a different community from one community. That depends again solely upon community settings and the type of streams or campaigns they're accepting. So we do have various type of campaigns that you could target and accept sorts where you accept from other community or within the community or various other ways. So even it could be a ad engine or it's sorts of. So, yep.
Yeah, I really want to get into the screen sharing here, but the last question I have as it related to what you guys are offering within that conversation there, one thing that stood out was the ability to buy a certain amount of screen time on whatever channel is offering it. Decentralized social media, decentralized media in general, has a lot of perks. Yeah, I mean, you guys are talking about most of them, but some of the drawbacks are you might get people who want to put out media that isn't consumable by normal people, that we don't want to always see gore. We don't maybe want to see nudity and things like this. How do you monitor that is actually going to be, taking place? YouTube and Twitch, all of these are heavily monitored, which is obviously a benefit of centralized platforms. How do you do that from a decentralized media standpoint? Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, one thing that we might need is a decentralized DRM. So considering what type of content that goes on a stream, or when you're buying or reserving a slot on a stream, is something to do with type of content you are planning to air. So it could be two ways. One could be moderated slot, moderated type of content that you want to air, or else it could be real-time DRM content. So we see that there is a lot of potential in having a decentralized DRM. For an example, Facebook uses Audible Magic, Vimeo uses Audible Magic, Dailymotion uses Audible Magic, but YouTube has its own, a DRM where it is content ID system that's in place that works very well, and it has promising results. We see that this is going to be a problem in the decentralized space where something like rug pull is easy, where you could just use someone else's artwork and you could broadcast onto someone else's stream and probably take advantage of promotions of sorts. So definitely there is a possibility for decentralized DIY where people collaborate, participate in scrutinizing, auditing, further making sure that the content promised, the content aid is up to standards where the campaign or the stream accepts. So.
Got it. Awesome, awesome answer there, guys. Keep the questions flowing as well. Definitely want to get the chat involved with the conversation we're having here. But Abhishek, let's hop into the platform. We had some issues sharing in the beginning, so hopefully everything's kind of solved here. But let's see if we can't get a little look from your side here of the platform. There we go. Boom. Works like a charm. You're still muted.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
I think this should be good. Yes. So yeah, what we're looking at is OmniFlix Studio. This is a login. I mean, there's no sign up as such. No, there's an implementation. We're in early beta right now, but we've been working on this for about 2 years now, specifically Studio, and we have had about 150 million watch minutes streamed using Studio. I'll explain what that means, but Studio is where you start off with OmniFlix. So let me sign into a demo organization. This is a test organization that we have for ourselves. And here, as you can see, we have like 543 videos being managed, 17 audio files, 0 graphics and text, but those can be managed too. So this gives you an overview of the content that you have, right? So be it video, audio, graphics, or text. Let me quickly go into videos, right? Here I have a list of videos. I have video that has its metadata in place. So this video is generated. So let me quickly show you to help you explain what it means. So this is a video that has been automatically generated, right from Twitter. And here you can see that the entire video is just a tweet URL, and this is a large tweet. And this has the username, the background, the metadata, the highlighting as on Twitter, and so on and so forth. So all of this is, it might take an editor, say a couple of, maybe half an hour or 15 minutes, right? Even if it's a template. But for Studio, it'll take just about a few minutes to be able to put it all together, right? So this way, there can be a lot more done with Studio. So you have your uploads as a source, you have your Twitter tweets as a source, you have YouTube as a source, you have FTP as a source. There are multiple ways in which you can upload content to Studio, right? So you can create content, video assets, audio assets. You can manage all your assets, be it video, audio, text, graphics, and like this, you can utilize all your videos, right? And maybe even auto-generate videos like this, right? So here, what you see is a fully automated 24/7 broadcast that has been put together, right? Yeah, right? Like put together. And here we're making sure that the entire video is auto-generated. So there was no video aspect to it. It was an audio file. It was text data given in an Excel sheet, right? And the album artwork, right? Image, text, and audio being given to generate a full-fledged video, right? Here, as you can see, that there is a video in the background. There's like a background video. Mm-hmm. And here you can see that there is the title, the details of the crew, and the album artwork, right? Along with an equalizer, right? To indicate the waveform. And these are dynamic elements. This is like a logo, and this is like what's playing now, and so on and so forth. And you can see a ticker to the bottom. So this is an entire broadcast that has been put together, within Studio. So let's have a look at how that is put together. So right now, okay, let me quickly log into one of the streams. You can see that the entire stream will be live, right? Yeah. Here you can see that the YouTube channel is connected, right? Here you can see that the stream is running, right? and it is on air right now. You can see a preview of the stream, right? And you can see options to restart and stop because it is running right now, right? And the destination is YouTube running in HD quality. You can see what's the play out right now. You have you can add text inputs, right? You have your stream URL in keys which you can generate and utilize to stream directly, right, into this broadcast. So if a session like this is happening right now and your broadcast is running on, in parallel, you can record or, of course, record and stream it later. But when it is happening in real time and you want to broadcast it to, say, large TV, for example, you can do that. You can connect Zoom directly utilizing these stream key URLs and stream keys and stream directly into your TV, right? So this way, there can be multiple, opportunities for live streaming and linear broadcasts to get combined. So, we call it a broadcast because it's a broadcast and not really a live stream, right? But if there is a live stream, that is also accommodated. So this is like an entire broadcast, with full-fledged studio capabilities, right? And, here, like just scrolling down, right? You can see that the entire week, programming for the entire week can be done, right? And a 24-hour day. So this stream is an IST, and a 24-hour day is broken down into 8 slots of 3 hours each. You can see, the programming for all 3 hours. So this is from 12 to 3. It's like 11:39 PM IST. So we are in this slot right now, right? And, here, these are songs that are selected, programmed, both, again, dynamically, as well as, manually, as well as algorithmically. So let me go to a new date, for example, right? And, I can always go ahead and add programs one after the other, right? Like this might take time, to fill 24 hours a day with 3-minute songs will take time, right? So what can also be done is you can go ahead, clear the slot, right? And click on create dynamic slot. Here you can enter the time, it can be 180 minutes or 0 for 180. You can select the category, it will be music. Now I can select, say, top 20-21 songs, right? And I can choose to exclude something as well. I can click on create slot, and the entire slot has been filled right now, right, with the required programming. So all of this is algorithmic, and here you can go ahead and create templates with the same configuration that you might need, and you can add multiple templates, combine them together. You get programming, at least the configuration you can add to that, or you can just go ahead and with an empty configuration click on create slot, and the entire slot is filled, right? Along with the promo, along with the ability to ingest ads. The gray dots that you see here are, the appropriate place where you can actually ingest an ad, right? This is at the end of a song. Because these are songs, you have the ability to ingest an ad, after the end of a song. So we are making sure that we identify the right places without it actually being intrusive for a consumer or an audience, right? So this way, there can be multiple ways in which you can configure and program your stream, and it'll hardly take any time once you're fully accustomed to how studio works. It won't take a lot of time to program an entire day. So
guys, we run content not 24/7 yet, but 7 days a week. You're blowing a lot of our community's minds. I'm getting a lot of Lads TV comments here. I know my producer is going to be watching this episode after the show here, and he's going to absolutely freak out because these are a lot of cool features. One of the features that you mentioned here at the beginning of our talk was the ability to add NFTs or add different features. Is that on a different type of interface, or can you do that from... Oh, there we go. All right. How does that work? And take me through it.
Let us do it in studio itself, right? Here, okay. So here you can see in the metadata that there is an NFT ID, right? This is an NFT that has been minted on the OmniFlix networks chain, right? So what we're doing is there'll be 2 versions where we implement where there is a public version, public network on which NFTs are minted. There'll be a private network implemented specifically for studios that might need to protect their privacy, but still utilize the efficiency and power of blockchain, if I might say. And, from these private chains, again, we utilize Cosmos IBC to be able to connect to the OmniFlix hub and make sure these private assets move on to a public chain and their rights or licensing. So a subset of rights might move to the public chain, whereas, bulk or majority of the rights might stay in the private chain. So this is why we believe, sovereign systems are important. But, the demo that I'm giving you right now is from an independent implementation that we have and not a public network.
So you're telling me that there's private assets that you're able to implement into these videos?
Right. That's right.
You guys are doing a lot behind the scenes here. Wow, I'm glad we're getting into this conversation. I know Abhishek's been going for a long time, Daya, but do you have anything to add to what we've seen here, or anything you want to tell the community?
I think, like what Abhishek walked you through is, is a lot that happens in the background that you can't, get to see. But definitely, since these are 24/7 broadcasts, there is, a lot of importance, and, things have been, taken into consideration, like, latencies, delays, discontinuities, and, a lot of things where it spins back. It makes sure that it keeps running and, stays online without having to, be manned as such. It barely, takes 15 minutes of your time for, a lot of content to be programmed, and it does its jobs without, having to do much. But definitely there are ways where you could, bring on real-time live streams and combine video on demand content, making it, interactive as something like a radio or, some sorts of a TV, to be imagined. So, yeah.
Yeah. So shall we mint an NFT?
Please do.
Right. So, all right. So this is, this is Changubala. So that's the name of the song. And here I don't have an NFT ID at the moment. So here you can see that, okay, let me move this here. Right here you can see that, here you can see that there's an option to mint an NFT, a button that says mint NFT. As soon as I click this, Kepler, which is the MetaMask of Cosmos, that actually opens and I get to initiate a transaction. So I just clicked on that right now, right? Kepler has opened. I clicked on approve, right? I should be able to see a pop-up, a success message here. Yeah, this is how fast it is, right? Like the experience is near, very close to what Web2 offers. Right?
Yeah.
So here you can see the NFT has been successfully minted. I go to Changubala, I have the NFT ID in place.
Yeah.
So this is how it is, and this is how simple it is to actually mint NFTs.
Yeah, I really want to tell the chat here, because they're viewing us on YouTube, and based on how we have it laid out, you can't see the actual NFT ID there in the bottom right, but there's an NFT ID with a copy there. I might be able to minimize what we've got going on. And then there also was a notification that said, successfully minted, right? So let me see if I can't give them a look at that really quick. I might not have it. Yeah. Let's see. It's going to be a little tough, but guys, there's an NFT ID right there. You have to take my word for it.
Okay, let me paste that NFT ID in the chat for you, so that you can maybe share that. Of course, there's, as we said, right, like this is like a private network, and you can't really explore the NFT, but at the same time, yes, this is there, right?
Awesome. Wow, this is a lot that you guys are kind of laying out here. I guess we can move into OmniFlix Nucleus as well. I know there's a lot of different features, OmniFlix.me as well. What are these other types of features that you have within the ecosystem that's offering, features for users?
Right. So, as we were talking about, distributing to YouTube, this is one way in which you monetize or distribute your content to a Web2 platform. The first audio club is streaming it through Twitch to CryptoVoxels. Here we have a CryptoVoxels parcel. The gallery offers a free-to-air stream, as well as incentives for first token holders. So this is one way in which you can take it forward, right? And what is Nucleus? Nucleus is your Netflix. It is similar to Netflix, but again is a D app. So I connect with Kepler. I make sure to go ahead, authenticate, and here I am, right? So this is what Nucleus is, and you can see that it is like a full-fledged, application where you have your content being distributed through your own app to your community, tokenized community, or powered by email, or a subscription. It can be a monetization option or a monetization method of your choice, right? And you can simply go ahead and start playing content. And this is what Nucleus is. Nucleus is your nucleus for your community to start consuming all your content and take it to the next level with media engagement. Yeah.
My mouth is wide open.
Right. So
So
yeah,
this
I
is all
mean,
powered by the studio, and few flags there would enable you to distribute in real time without having to deploy something sorts. So we are making everything open source, including the mobile app, the web, and rest of things that are running around the nucleus.
right. You saw the tweet video, right? Like this is the tweet video that's on Nucleus right now. Yeah. So here you can see that multiple videos are in place. These can be movies. I'll tell you what, right? Like that I explained about pools earlier. So imagine if Lads, Harrison, and a few other communities have put together content into a pool, right? For example, and offered that pool to people like me that cannot create content. I do not own content and I do not have the intention to create content. But what I have is the intention to license content from your pool or subscribe to them like a Shutterstock, subscription, and make sure to bring on board all that content and distribute using those pools into Nucleus like platforms. So my entire Nucleus comprises of 5 or 10 pools where I only license content and I do not own a single piece of content. So because I have the distribution ability, if I can market my own version of Nucleus or my own, subscription based, application, I can be sure to share revenue proportionately with everyone involved in the pool. So this way, pool owners or people that provide content to pools, right? They do not get affected by people actually distributing their content. And in turn, because in Web2 models, if your YouTube video is downloaded and distributed, you're gone, right? Like there's no way you can monetize it. But in here, if you utilize the pool, right? Like the power of collaborative content or curated content, if you utilize that, creators that do not create content, curators that curate content, collectors, everyone have the advantage of utilizing content for consumption and distribution purposes. Yeah.
Yeah, the main I'll add a point here. Why Abhishek, I was talking about this particular use case. For an example, if you create playlists on YouTube, you don't get nothing. You don't get anything. You hardly get views. So one way to look at to see a pool where people could contribute to the pool, and in return someone without having rights to the pool could also make money on top of, thereby giving money to the creators and to the pool participant, is something that Web2 has always took it easy, I would say. Rather they didn't want the curator to make something on top of his curation. But definitely without curation, a lot of content is nothing, because creator himself is not in a position where he could curate and further propagate to larger community. A larger community can only access content if it was curated, well curated, or curated by someone who has interest into the content alone. So something that OmniFlix is giving capabilities for curators to be able to license content and further distribute without having to worry about censorship or takedowns, something like those, and in return make money for both him and for the content creator involved.
Yeah, artist creation is something that comes to mind when I'm trying to connect the dots here with what you guys are doing, where you don't necessarily have the creator of the art, but you have the actual curator there that's like bringing together all of these art pieces and kind of distributing that out to the world, or at least getting more exposure for all of the artists and creators within that. So I hesitate to ask about OmniFlix.me because you guys are going to blow my mind again. But before we get to that, I do want to ask about your platform as usage goes. What do you guys have as far as a user base now with what I'm seeing in front of me here? Who is utilizing this, and where geographically are those people, and then how many users do you have up to this point? Just give me a quick breakdown.
So we have media companies that are utilizing what we build. There are DAOs that are utilizing what we build, right? So there are people that are protocol DAOs utilizing the media aspect. DAOs are utilizing only the community aspect. There are multiple ways. So from a numbers standpoint, we have about 7,000 assets, over 7,000 assets under management. So that's like your AUM, right? Like assets under management. And you primarily have the ability to actually manage all rights. These are not like independent YouTube videos, but these are actual full movies with all the 276 rights that I mentioned. And along with that, there are albums as well with multiple tracks within each album. So we're not considering the subset of assets. There are about 7,000 independent assets under management, and these are currently. So the way we followed to get adoption was we helped companies digitize. So they were using email, they were using WhatsApp and some of the other communication mechanisms, and along with not even sheets, right, like Google Sheets or be it offline Excel files. From there, we moved them to a platform where they could actually manage their assets, agreements, partners, rights, and platforms onto which they distribute this content. Along with that, they can also manage their projects, right? Like there is the project management aspect where companies or our partners, they distribute about 800 videos a day, every day, including news videos. There are creative videos and so on and so forth. So these are 800 different projects being worked on by people, about 250 people together in a specific company. And we have multiple partners like that. And along with that, we also work with DAOs, as I said. So, we work with, not to name names, but yeah, right, like an investment DAO, protocol DAO, and again, Harrison, a creator DAO, right? So we've been working with them since quite a while, and we run validator nodes in the Cosmos ecosystem as well. So community is a very integral part to what we're doing, and where I'll show you something here. Let me quickly go to OmniFlix for communities, right? So this is where I'm sure Collabland and have used Collabland to
Yes.
token gate your Discord server and take it to the next level with community engagement. So for sovereign chains, right? Like if you build your own chain, there's no Collabland, right? It's only on ETH right now. So what we have worked on is an ability for sovereign chains, Cosmos-based chains, to be able to not only token gate but also stake gate or activity gate. So here what we're doing is make sure we calculate or understand using your on-chain history, your data, your performance, and if you have stake tokens to a specific validator, right, a minor node in like proof of work context, right, you have the ability to not only join that specific validator, but also be able to join groups, other subsets of communities that are created through these stake gating systems that are available, right? And it cannot just, this is stake gating, right? So then there are proposals, right? Like governance proposals. What if I gate or create a group only for people that have voted on a specific proposal, right? Be it yes or no, but only for on-chain governance participation is where I give an NFT as a reward. But not only that, but also I allow people only based on that NFT, right? And so on and so forth. So these are some of the mechanisms that we are building for sovereign chains. And we have AkashNet, one of the Cosmos ecosystem chains. We just today won a competition or a challenge for this specific system, which was by the Agoric network. So this is again a Cosmos-based ecosystem project, and they're working on a smart contract framework written in JavaScript, and we have Naval Ravikant as their advisor, and so on and so forth. So these guys are like pretty solid, and they're pretty brilliant, and they worked on smart contracts in 1989. So that's
Wow.
who they are, and we are very glad to be a part of their ecosystem and to be able to serve communities like that, right? So these are some of the things that we are working on for communities, and that might not have media, right? But at the same time, this is where community interactions come into play, right? So yeah, this is this is one of our this is OmniFlix for communities.
Yeah, it's just a toolkit. It's obviously tools for communities that you guys are building. I mean, there are separate companies within ETH that are working on what you're showing me here, and you guys are all within OmniFlix throwing out all of this stuff, and it's actually blowing my mind. So I don't think there's anybody that, if they got this far in the video, needs to be convinced about what you guys are building. I did have a question on what the sign up looks like right now. I know you guys are in beta, so if there is someone interested, is there any way to sign up right now, or how does that look?
Yeah, you can go to the website omniflix.network, and you can go ahead and sign up right here within the contact form. So as soon as we receive an entry, either through an email subscription or through a message in the contact form, we'll get back to you with your need and we'll take it forward.
There is no public beta sign up as of now, but definitely we're going to release something in the near future with all of these, tied together. So since we've been working on different pieces for quite a while, and we haven't brought them together. So this is the phase where we are bringing all of the tools and things together to make give it a polished look and at the same time a simplified use.
Great presentation here. Do you have anything for OmniFlix.me, and then we'll move on to the last part of this episode?
Yeah, so OmniFlix.me is not developed yet because we are putting together the independent pieces that lead up to it. But OmniFlix.me is your Interchain profiles, right? So your creator profiles where you can actually aggregate NFTs across your blockchains, multiple blockchains. And if you have connected accounts, right, you can make sure to present that. So, Zach, I have one small point to share, right? I have something else to share. Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. I think this will be the one last thing. Right?
God.
Right. So let us go to OmniFlix.tv, right? So what is OmniFlix.tv? Not everyone has enough media to publish it or create their own Netflix, right? That might be, too ambitious to start off with. But for people that do not have that interface or do not have that much content, we have worked on OmniFlix.tv, which is a platform where people can publish right from their studio, right? So I've just utilized the tweet that we saw within studio, right? And I'll interact with it. So OmniFlix.tv, the specialty about OmniFlix.tv is it supports Web 2 and Web 3 media formats, right? You'll see in a second what that means. So I'm clicking on the ability on a video here, and I'm looking to interact with it, right? I haven't connected any account, but I can go ahead and connect an account. I can connect with Kepler or I can connect with MetaMask. With MetaMask, I have Ethereum, Polygon, and Binance Smart Chain, right? I can, like with Kepler, I have OmniFlix, Akash Network, Cosmos, and Sentinel. So these are some of the networks with which you can connect, right? I click on OmniFlix, this is our net, FreeFlix. So this is where we are running our testnet. And here you can see that the video is ready to play, right? And underneath, I have a leaderboard here. Let's see what happens when I click on this video. I have the video, and here there's an interaction. So I have a timer running. What is large city? A city in the USA or a DAO, right? This is an interaction. And I click on submit. And here I have my answer. And in the leaderboard, I'm ranked 1 because I'm the only person that's answering this question. But if I have a set of people that are answering these questions, and you have logged, say, 100 lads, or you have logged, say, 1 ETH as prize money for this specific interactive video, you can go ahead and after the entire campaign is done, tokens are automatically distributed, or you can manually distribute them too based on your choice. So this way you can run competitions, you can get people to understand by asking the right questions, understand or introduce aspects of a community, help them explain governance proposals. There are a lot of ways in which you can compose these interactive videos. And right now it is, again, through Studio, right? It's like a single click interface. And if this is an NFT, for example, or during a live stream, this is like a VOD, video on demand video. But if this is as part of a live stream, right? Tomorrow you'll have the ability to buy directly, right? Or you can go ahead and maybe start a bid as well, right? Like I can bid with a specific amount, I can confirm, and I can go ahead and confirm. So this way, there can be multiple options that are provided for people to interact directly with media, right? And yeah, this is the one last thing, right? Like with OmniFlix TV and interactive videos.
Yeah, interactive videos was what we were talking about early in the episode, so I'm glad we got to look at this. This actually looks great for onboarding. If you're looking to onboard somebody into your community, being able to have the video there and then ask the question so that they receive the reward, that is exactly what we need.
Yes. So that has been the idea. And initially also, we'll open up the ability for people to upload their videos and create interactive videos. And later, as they progress and as they keep utilizing and as they keep adding more content, we'll open up the ability to run live streams, right? But for say Lad City, the YouTube channel, we don't need to go through all those phases. We can directly start off with streaming live and going ahead with 24/7 broadcast. So there are multiple ways in which communities engage with us. It's not like one fixed entry point, because needs are different for different kinds of various stakeholders, right? And to help them achieve their goals, we make sure to suggest the best way forward.
Daya, do you have anything before we jump out of the platform?
No, I'm good.
I think that's good. Like Abhishek has shown you all the tools. Definitely, last but not least, OmniFlix.me followed by everything else. So I'm good with that.
Awesome. The last thing I wanted to touch on before I get to a book recommendation from both of you was your support of the Crypto Relief Fund and everything that's going on in India. Can you take me be kind of behind the scenes there of the Crypto Relief Fund support you guys were giving out, as well as kind of the general scene right now in crypto in India?
Right. So do you want to talk about it?
No, go on, please.
Yeah. So with Crypto Relief, what we did is there were multiple ways in which we got involved. We were, as mentioned earlier in the show, we were involved with crypto right since a while, like pre 2017 bull run. So there's a bull cycle that we went through, and there were people in the ecosystem that we were working with, and especially from the Cosmos community, we there was a fundraiser that we worked on in collaboration with both the Indian ecosystem as well as the global Cosmos ecosystem. And apart from that, we worked on an NFT collaboration with another DAO. It is not, they don't yet consider themselves a DAO, but they exactly operate like a DAO, right? It's the Crypto Art India Collective, and these guys are a collective of artists that experiment with crypto media, crypto art. And there again, a lot of them, like 95% of them, are from India. There are people from other places present too, and they all we helped or initiated the process where they got together to create that NFT. There were two collaborations that were worked on. One was like a 44 artist collab, which was like a 1x1 NFT, and then there was like a 100 edition NFT, which has been worked on by 17 artists. So these were two collaborations that we worked on. Like they worked on it themselves, but we coordinated some of the efforts, initiated, and had some while we were working with the Crypto Relief fund. So this way, there were multiple ways in which we got involved. And we are very glad, and the community has been extremely supportive of the initiative. And Sandeep, the founder of Polygon, those guys actually took steps which were at a time when there was no clarity on the regulation of crypto in India and so on and so forth. And there were decisions that were taken too fast. There were it was exciting. At the same time, people were doing extremely responsible things and serving the community.
Yeah, with Vitalik, SHIB, and other rest of the coins being donated, it has just exploded in the Indian market, and we are glad that the whole fundraise got somewhere around 4 to 5 million USD.
Great job.
And yes, people are still working on ground, doing things, trying to help people who are in need.
Yeah, over here in the West, we get a lot of kind of content or kind of understand generally that the East in China is a big market, and we get a little bit of information from there. India, less so. We don't get a lot of information on the ground there. What's the retail sentiment in India right now when it comes to crypto? And then I guess we could touch on regulation, but I don't want to go down a rabbit hole. So what's the retail sentiment there out in India?
So it's, people look at it as a technology more than an asset or an asset class, as an investment opportunity. But definitely there's the investment part, 1.5. Yeah, like there are a lot of people that hold crypto in India, right? Like among the 1 billion people, and viewing it as technology help people also build, not just actually think about investment opportunities. And that way they got involved in the ecosystem. So you can see, Indian developers, Indian community managers be a part of multiple projects. So this way, it is not just about from a trading standpoint, but there has been a very positive exposure. But still, there are scams, there are a lot of these other things that happen as well. And recently, right, like the RBI, Reserve Bank of India, which is like the equivalent of a federal bank, Federal Reserve in the US, right? So these guys actually, put out a circular that invalidated a previous government order. And they said that it is, they said that, it is, they didn't say that
it
it
was
is not
designed
legal,
6 years.
but they didn't also say that it is illegal, right? So there's that fine line where you're balanced, and it is okay, right? Like that's where it is at. But we believe there'll be more scrutiny and regulations around this, so that people don't abuse whatever power that they have, and take it forward.
Yeah, the ambiguity has been, put down to rest, at least, giving scope for people to participate. Definitely, there are guides and regulations that are going to come in the near future, which Indians are looking forward to. And Indians joining the crypto, I definitely would believe that, it's going to explode. Like, for an example, there was a guy who used to work in YouTube, and, he moved to Singapore. Once I, met him during a event, I asked him, how is it, going on, with the Singapore YouTube. He was like, there is nothing, like India. There is nothing like YouTube India, outside India, because the amount of consumption, the amount of consumers, the amount of things happen, around the media on YouTube India is humongous, and nothing is comparable, when it comes to the rest of the countries around there. So definitely, with regulations helping people to participate and dive into further to be able to fund or do things around, is going to be exciting. So we believe that in the next 1-2 years, India is going to go next level in crypto.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. And mobile adoption there is absolutely
Huge.
crazy. And that we're just starting to solve, I think, mobile interfaces with crypto and just people just utilizing crypto on their phone. So really excited for that marketplace.
Actually, Nucleus also has a mobile app with blockchain integrated. So you can transact.
Of course
freely.
It does.
Yes. So we have already integrated the Cosmos, SDK ability to transfer from the mobile itself. But definitely we'll be launching a beta, in the coming months, and where people will be able to experiment things around.
Got it. Awesome. This has been an amazing interview. Guys, I just dropped the message in the chat there. It's going to take you directly to the website, omniflix.network. Again, Abhishek, Daya, this was an awesome conversation. Book recommendation from both of you before you head out, and then we'll let you go.
Right. So, personally, I like Steve Jobs, the biography by Walter Isaacson. So it, that's my genre of books, and but one book that I'd recommend is Secret. The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. So that is, that has been an amazing experience. But I didn't read the book. I saw the, the documentary or the video, so which quite helped me as well. So yeah, those are my recommendations.
I'm more of a movie buff than a book reader, so definitely I could give a lot of movie suggestions. But coming to books, yeah, definitely there are a few books I enjoy reading. I enjoy reading Ayn Rand, then Herman has Buddha's book. I definitely don't remember the name, but movies is my way of going, going into consuming content. So
I can respect that. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, this has been a great conversation with OmniFlix Network. Thank you guys for tuning along the entire episode. We've got a lot of lads that kind of asked a bunch of questions here in the chat, and we're just here and really appreciated the content and the presentation that we received. You guys are absolutely getting after it. So thanks again for coming on the Layer 1 podcast, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yep.
Thank you for hosting us. Thanks for the time.
Yeah.